Hi, this is a tutorial for the new BDD editor. I will go through the process of creating new stories, BDD scenarios, managing your backlog, managing the board, working with the topic map, and creating documentation and managing your users. So firstly, let's create a story. We create a story called login. So as a user, I want to be able to log in so that I can use the app. So this is login. We'll tag it as a login tag. Right. Okay, save a story. That is now in our backlog. We can click the title to get to the story editor. We can add more tags here. We can add tasks. So let's say we need to create login screen. Not screen. Create login screen. Right, okay. Status, new. It can be to do, in progress, done, or archived. So let's assign it to BDD editor. Let's estimate it 4 points. Don't have to do it. And use topic login. Right, okay. Again, these are not mandatory. You don't have to press the save button, it's automatically saved for you. So let's now close it. First of all, we can see it's assigned to BDD editor as a login tag. It's in a new status. We can prioritize it. We only have one story, so it doesn't really matter. If I click login again, let's make it as part of the MVP, and let's also color code it green for something that we are good to start working on. Now, if we're using points here, we can use this points-based estimation tool. Say, well, we got total points 8, 4 done, 4 left, and we say we can think we should be able to do 4 points per day, and that means that it should not take more than 1 day to finish the story. So let's start working on that story. We add it to do item. You can see the color coding changes, and it is now on our board. You can see the green colors here, so the color coding goes through the whole tool, and as does the excuse me, the MVP tick. So let's say we start working on it. We move it to in progress. Let's mark that task done. And what we want to do is we add a scenario as well. So let's say login scenario, add some steps. Given I am on the home page when I key in my username and password and press the login button, I am logged on. And let's also add some data. So username, user1, the password, BW. Right. Okay, so that's saved. We don't again have to press the save button, automatically saved. Once we're happy with this one, so right, we mark it as ready. The color coding will change to blue. You can also change the different types into outline or background scenario. We keep it as a normal scenario. And now the card here turns blue. Okay. What you can do, if you want to, you can download the feature file from here by clicking this one. Or what you can do is you can automate the downloading of all of the feature files based on tags or statuses or the story IDs using these URLs here. Okay, so we have a scenario now defined. We are now in flight. Let's say that is now finished. We're done. Reviewed. We just archive the done story. Sorry. Let's close that. And now that is removed from our backlog. Another way of adding work is using topics. So, for example, you could use topics as the business function, or it could be a release, or it could be an epic. Doesn't really matter. It's up to you. You can move the topics around. It's a drag and drop. You can either add a story from here directly, advanced login, and we'll create the story for you, or if we create a new story, super user. Excuse me. Super user login. If we create a story here, we can then in the topic map add the story super user login that way as well. And if we then, let's say we're working on this one now, is to do, so that's in progress, click MVP, that is now visible in the topic map. So you can very quickly see where we're at with regards to work. What you can also do is use color coding story, let's say screen, so looking good. That green is showing up here as well. So you can use the combination of the topic map colors to kind of really organize your work quite well. Right, so 2 more things I want to go through very briefly. Documentation. There's a simple medium type documentation editor. So what you see is what you get. Let's create a new document here. Say we will, let's say, tutorial. Press the edit button. Tutorial for beginners. Right. And yeah, it should be quite self-explanatory. You have just different text types, bullet points, numbered list, quotes, and code samples. And you don't have to save it with a particular title. It will pick up the title from the front, for heading. So you click that one, and we have tutorial. I'll just very quickly show you an example of what kind of things you can do. You can drag and drop images, and this is kind of the view of what other things you could do. You can use emoticons or icons. That's the code example, and that's the quote example. Now, if you want to add users into your project, this is very simple. Let's get rid of that first of all. So you can't remove remove that user. Let's add him again. So very simply, we use GitHub for user authentication. We don't have our own system to save your password and anything like that. You only use your public or store only your public information. We don't have any requirement for needing any more than that. So what you do is add new user, search for the GitHub username. So I'm just add myself again, press enter, and you want to verify it's the right person. Add user, and now that person can jump into your project. And the way you switch different spaces, so you click here and say I want to go to this space, and then you can see the work from that project. What you can also see here is the velocity chart, just to give you an idea how it will look like once you got a bit more stories in flight. Alright, so I hope that has been useful. I wish you will let us know if you have any improvements, any ideas how we can do things better, or any feedback in general. So please get in touch. Thank you.